Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Mohammed here. Have you ever pondered the differences between molecules, atoms and cells? These tiny particles are the building blocks of life, constructing the vast world we see around us. Imagine the air you breathe, the food you eat, even you yourself, all composed of these minuscule elements. Each particle, though seemingly similar, carries unique characteristics that distinguish it from the others. Understanding these differences is like holding the key to the door of life. Now you might ask, why is it important to know about these tiny particles? Well, let's put it this way. Imagine building a house without knowing the difference between bricks, cement, and sand. You might end up with a pile of rubble instead of a cozy home. Similarly, understanding molecules, atoms, and cells allows us to better comprehend the world surrounding us. Let's start with atoms. They are the smallest unit of matter that retains the properties of an element. Picture them as tiny solar systems with a nucleus at the center and electrons whirling around it, much like planets orbiting the sun. Then we have molecules. These are groups of two or more atoms that are chemically bonded together. Think of them as a family, where atoms are the individual family members, each with their unique characteristics, but functioning together as a unit. And finally, we have cells. These are the basic building blocks of life, encompassing both molecules and atoms within their boundaries. They are like cities, bustling with activity, where various molecules and atoms come together to perform life-sustaining functions. The beauty of this intricate world lies in its complexity and harmony. Each particle, though tiny, plays a crucial role in the grand scheme of things. So, are you ready to dive deeper into this intriguing world? Hold on to your seats as we dive into the fascinating world of molecules, atoms, and cells. Imagine the world of atoms, the smallest unit of a chemical element that retains the properties of that element. It's a universe of its own, teeming with activity and contributing to the existence of everything we know and experience. An atom might seem simple at first glance, but it's far from it. At its core, an atom is composed of three key parts: protons, neutrons, and electrons. Protons carry a positive charge, while electrons carry a negative one. Neutrons, on the other hand, are neutral, carrying no charge at all. This balance of positive and negative charges within an atom is what makes the atomic world. But what's fascinating about these protons, neutrons, and electrons? Well, they're the ones that define the identity of an atom. The number of protons in an atom determines the atomic number, which in turn identifies the chemical element. For example, an atom with one proton is hydrogen, while an atom with two protons is helium. Neutrons and electrons also play a crucial role. Neutrons, similar in size to protons, contribute to the mass of an atom and can influence how an atom behaves. Electrons, although much smaller, orbit around the nucleus of the atom, defining the atom's size and participating in chemical reactions. And it's these chemical reactions where atoms truly shine. They can combine, transfer and exchange electrons with other atoms, forming molecules and compounds that make up the world around us. From the air we breathe, the food we eat, to the water we drink, atoms are at the heart of it all. In essence, atoms are the basic building blocks of matter. They are like tiny Lego bricks, coming together in countless ways to create the vast array of materials and substances that constitute our universe. These tiny particles, while invisible to the naked eye, are the foundation of everything that exists. They are the unsung heroes of our reality. Now, let's think about how atoms bond together to form molecules. Imagine atoms as the basic building blocks of everything around us. When these atoms decide to join forces, they form what we call molecules. It's like how individual musicians come together to form an orchestra, each playing a vital role in creating a harmonious symphony. Molecules are groups of two or more atoms held together by chemical bonds. These atoms can be of the same kind, like in oxygen gas, where two oxygen atoms bond to form an O2 molecule. Or they can be of different kinds, like in water, where two hydrogen atoms join with one oxygen atom to form H2O. But how do these atoms bond together? They do so by sharing or exchanging electrons, the negatively charged particles whizzing around the atom's nucleus. This sharing or exchange of electrons allows atoms to achieve a more stable state. Now here's the fascinating part. When atoms bond together to form a molecule, They give birth to properties that are different from the atoms that make them up. Take water, for instance. A molecule of water is a liquid at room temperature and essential for life. But the hydrogen and oxygen atoms that make up water are gases, and on their own, neither is particularly life-sustaining. It's the special way they come together to form water that gives life to those unique properties. Similarly, carbon dioxide is a gas that plants use for photosynthesis, but neither carbon, a solid, nor oxygen, a gas, is capable of photosynthesis on its own. It's their union in the form of a CO2 molecule that makes this possible. Molecules are like a team, with each atom playing a key role, leading to a variety of interesting properties and functions. By bonding together, atoms create a whole new world of possibilities, transforming themselves and the world around us in the process. Moving on to a larger scale, we encounter the marvel of life itself, cells. Now, cells are remarkable entities, aren't they? They are the smallest unit of life, yet they hold within them the very essence of existence. Composed of billions of atoms and molecules, cells is a bustling microcosm of activity. Cells are like dynamic cities, each hosting a multitude of processes and functions. They are made up of molecules and atoms, like everything else in our universe, but it's their unique arrangement and interactions that give birth to life. It's the way these atoms and molecules combine and interact within the cell that determines its functions and characteristics. But not all cells are similar. There are different types of cells, each with its own structure and function. We have animal cells and plant cells, which are eukaryotic, meaning they have a nucleus and other specialized structures called organelles. Then there are bacterial cells, which are prokaryotic and much simpler in structure, having no nucleus or other organelles. Animal cells, the kind that make up you and me. Plant cells, on the other hand, have an extra organelle called the chloroplast, which allows them to harness the sun's energy to produce food through photosynthesis. Bacterial cells, while simpler, are incredibly diverse and adaptable, playing a crucial role in everything from digestion to disease. So while cells may be made up of the same basic building blocks as everything else, atoms and molecules, it's their unique configurations and interactions that make life possible. It's like a symphony orchestra, where each instrument, each note, contributes to the overall masterpiece. The complexity and diversity of cells make them a fascinating area of study, revealing the intricate workings of life at a microscopic level. Cells are like tiny factories, each with a specific role, working together to sustain life as we know it. So, in essence, atoms form molecules and molecules form cells. But what does this mean for us? To understand this, let's take a step back and see the bigger picture. The universe is a complex puzzle, and atoms, molecules, and cells are its building blocks. They're interconnected, each playing a vital role in the formation and functioning of every material thing around us. Life as we know it wouldn't exist without these tiny particles. Atoms are the smallest units of matter. They group together, sharing electrons to form molecules. These molecules can be as simple as a water molecule, composed of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom, or as complex as a DNA molecule, which contains the blueprint for all living organisms. Molecules, in turn, come together to form cells, the basic units of life. Each cell is like a miniature city, bustling with activity. It's in these cells where molecules perform their functions, from providing structure and energy to carrying out the processes that keep us alive. Understanding the structure and behavior of atoms, molecules, and cells is more than just satisfying our curiosity. It's the key to advancements in numerous fields. In medicine, for instance, understanding how cells work at a molecular level can lead to the development of new treatments and therapies. In biology, it helps us understand the intricacies of life and evolution. In chemistry, it allows us to manipulate matter, leading to the creation of new materials and substances. So when we delve into the world of atoms, molecules, and cells, we're not just exploring the tiny particles that make up the world around us. We're unraveling the secrets of the universe, one atom at a time. Understanding these tiny particles, although they may seem insignificant, can open doors to a whole new world of possibilities. We've journeyed from the smallest particle, the atom, to the complex world of cells. How does this impact our view of the world? Indeed, the wonder and complexity of life from minuscule atoms to intricate cells, is nothing short of a marvel. It's a journey that takes us from the infinitesimally small to the grandeur of life as we know it. It's an exploration of the very fabric of existence, an adventure into the building blocks of life. These tiny particles, atoms and molecules and the cells they form are not just the foundation of life, but they are life. They're the unsung heroes of existence, silently working behind the scenes to make life possible. Understanding these fundamental elements leads to a profound appreciation for the natural world. Consider the lush green trees, the vibrant flowers, the chirping birds, the buzzing bees, the towering mountains, the flowing rivers, and the vast oceans. All of these owe their existence to the atoms, molecules, and cells that work tirelessly to sustain life. This knowledge should inspire us, ignite curiosity, and foster respect for the incredibly intricate and delicate balance of life. It should remind us of our connection to the universe, of our shared heritage with all living things. In the grand scheme of things, we're just a collection of atoms, molecules, and cells, but we're also so much more. We're the universe experiencing itself, the result of billions of years of cosmic evolution. We're the living proof of the power of these tiny particles, of their ability to create something as complex and beautiful as life. See you next video.